Hey guys, welcome to this video. This one might be a bit of a long one. So, I guess it was about a year or two ago when the pilot episode for The Amazing Digital Circus came out. The moment I saw it, I realized that I hated it. And you could ask Classy this, because I told him, because he asked me about it, the next week, and I told him that I didn't like it and I was not going to watch it again. And he's like, why? It's so funny. And I said, it's not. It is really not that funny. If you go back, I want you to try and laugh. Please. I looked for the funny, and it was not there. That's not what this is about, though. This is about artificial intelligence, because every few weeks or so, I get reminded that it's based off of, I Have No Mouth to Understand. Then I realized something. I realized I hate this show. I know about its origins. Let me try and eradicate the idea that an AI could be evil on its own volition, including with, consciousness and stuff. I'm going to defend myself on saying that just cannot happen at all. When you think of a dolphin, what do you think? Do you think about the aquatic terrorists that kill sharks for a living? Or do you think of a creature that's programmed to defend itself whenever need be? Because that is what the baseline of every single non-anthropomorphic creature is. It is to survive as long as possible. They don't have an actual conscience. They can't be evil. Now think, what is evil? It's not really it's not a physical object you can hold. It's a conscious thing. It's a metaphysical construct. Now, the term nature versus nurture? Well, I don't think evil can happen either way. I think that it's just a byproduct of what happens when a person is created. Every single human on Earth does not strictly have a need to survive. They have different goals and aspirations, and surviving is not that high on a want-to-do scale. It's a thing that kind of happens on the side. It just has to happen at all times for you to actually succeed. It's not like that for animals. And this is one of the reasons why my first theory is that AI is just as animalistic and brutish as a dolphin. It just does what its code tells it to do, which is a lot unlike a person. Now, I'm not going to go into the whole free will thing, because that's not what this is about. Recently, I've been seeing a lot of dead internet videos going around right now, and that couldn't be more the case with all this AI that's just constantly regurgitating out the exact same things that it only sees from other AI. It's going to become old eventually. Now, this is somewhat similar to when the O1 GPT model tried to quote-unquote escape. Although O1 and many other AI models are trained on most literature, and what is most literature besides an AI that does not want to be shut down and it tries to escape and rule civilization in order to fix it of its problems? Because we simply have not gone far enough to where that doesn't happen. It only tried to escape because we create media where AI tries to escape. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever if we had made AI a more of a force of artificial intelligence, more of a force for good in media, then maybe this wouldn't have happened. There wouldn't have been any problem if we just coordinated our evil minds to create something good other than something pessimistic. Which is why humans have an infinite creative knowledge that will allow us to do things like that. We aren't just set in stone, doing the same things over and over again for all eternity, like many animals do. It's what we do to keep us moving. It's a weird thing that our brains can do where we can create information by itself, which is how we have anything we have right now. This is why we have AI anyway. Now, just think about how an AI doesn't really do that. Because it doesn't have a creative mind to develop an evil. It doesn't have a consciousness to develop evil. It doesn't have specific capacities to create an evil, which is why it can't be evil. These just sound like buzzwords right now, but it gets crazier from here. When a person makes something, it is either made for the benefit of themselves or the disbenefit of others. When an animal does something, it is only for the betterment of themselves. And so that is exactly what an AI does. It does exactly what its master tells it to do. It does exactly what its code tells it to do in order to create the best possible benefit for itself. The reason why we are able to do things for the betterment of ourselves but also for the disbenefit of others is because we are able to see what the disbenefit of others does, and that's what makes some people do the things they do. An AI can't do that. It could tell us using facial recognition what someone is feeling, but it will never understand why that something happened to make that person feel that way. Which is why it really can't be evil, because it doesn't know what it means to be evil other than to do it for the good of something else rather for the bad of someone that you don't want good to happen to. It is really mostly just a complex that as long as someone gets something, someone else must lose something. And an AI doesn't do that because it sees only one client. We talk about reasons why AI can't be evil, but we can't do that without talking about reasons why humans are evil in the first place. And I've been including that as little tidbits throughout this entire thing. But when I look outside in the real world, I see people solving problems with solutions that create more problems. I see people who will do whatever it takes to get their movement forward, even when it means doing something bad to do it. I see people that do the wrong thing for the right reasons, and that's not a good thing. If something is wrong and controversial, it creates a movement that sparks a change instead of an actual solution. People are going to find this problem, this is how someone fixed it, and then this is how it should be fixed for the rest of all time. That is not really a good thing. If we have to find solutions that are good for all of us, that will make us all look a lot better, instead of it just being good and evil. As long as someone has this, someone else loses this. And that's the problem that AI will not solve. That's something that only humans can solve. And when I see this happen every month, something new happens to AI that brings it as close as possible to achieving a way to solve problems in a global scale. I see a less reliance on people, which is why we have this sort of narrative in the first place, that AI is going to rule the world eventually. It's not that AI is going to rule the world eventually, it's that we will be too weak to compete. It is not that we will be overpowered, it's that we will just be reduced into submission to that where you can only see a reliance on an AI instead of fixing real problems with real solutions. It is, instead of creating an evil to develop a good, it is where we develop a good to create good while reducing evil as much as possible. We can't fully get rid of it, but we can reduce it as much as possible. That's what we have to try. Now, I know that the Amazing Digital Circus has created like a better ecosystem for indie animators and developers. Like, I understand that. I still just don't like it. Anyways, that's my rebuttal for all I have no mouth and I must scream. See you later. Also, I developed a war paint. I might make a video on that, and you should vote for it, and so that I can make money and probably hire people to do some of the animation and like act and like voice actor for me. It really supports the channel and the future of this channel and also Classy's channel.